All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to crack the code on the digital SAT's reading and writing section. Forget all the guesswork. We're diving into a super powerful, rule-based strategy that is going to completely change how you handle those tricky punctuation questions. You know the feeling, right? You're staring at four answer choices. One has a comma, one has a semicolon, another has a period, and you just feel that little wave of panic. Well, you're not alone. These questions are designed to trip you up, and they can absolutely be a major point drain if you don't have a solid system. And let's be super clear here, especially for those of you aiming for top Lebanese universities like AUB and LAU, these aren't just points we're talking about. They are absolutely crucial pieces of a competitive application. Mastering these standard English conventions, it's non-negotiable, and we're going to make sure you lock in every single one of those points. So what if I told you there's one simple tool that can solve most of these problems? I'm talking about a single mechanical test that just cuts right through all the confusion and points you directly to the right answer. Let me introduce you to the vertical line test. This is going to be your absolute best friend whenever you see the punctuation changing in the answer choices. Seriously, think of it as your secret weapon. It turns what feels like a subjective grammar puzzle into a really clear logical problem. And the process? It really couldn't be simpler. First, you just mentally draw a vertical line right where the punctuation is supposed to go. Then, you ask yourself two simple questions. Is the chunk of text before that line a complete idea? And is the chunk of text after that line a complete idea? That's it. So what do I mean by a complete idea? It's really just a full sentence. It's got a subject, it's got a main verb, and it can stand all on its own. An incomplete idea or a fragment is basically anything else, a phrase or a clause that just can't stand alone. Being able to tell these two apart is the absolute key to this whole test. Now, this table right here, this is your roadmap. It connects what you find directly to the rules. So if your vertical line test gives you two complete ideas, you have to use stop punctuation. That's your period or semicolon. If you have a complete idea and the second complete idea explains or lists something about the first, you can use half-stop punctuation, like a colon or a dash. And for pretty much any other mix, like a complete and an incomplete idea, you can only use go punctuation, which is usually a comma or sometimes nothing at all. Okay, theory is great, but let's see this thing in action with a real sample question. So imagine the answer choices for this question would put different punctuation right in that blank space. A period, a semicolon, a comma, or nothing. Okay, time to apply our test. We're going to draw our mental vertical line right where that punctuation would go, right between the words leave and then. Now, let's analyze both sides of that line. So let's look at what comes before the line. The full idea is over 80% of workers are in fact less likely to leave. That is a complete idea, right? It's got a subject, workers, and a verb, are. Now, what's after the line? Then the average employee is. Can that stand on its own as a sentence? No way. It's a fragment. So what we have is a complete idea followed by an incomplete idea. And this is where the magic happens. This is the power of elimination. Our rules clearly state that you cannot use stop or half-stop punctuation to connect a complete idea to an incomplete one. So any answer choice with a period, a semicolon, a colon, or a dash is instantly, automatically wrong. We can just cross them out. So what are we left with? Only the GO punctuation options. In this specific sentence, the part after the line is essential to the meaning, so we actually don't need a comma. The correct answer is the one with no punctuation at all. See how that works? No guessing involved. We just applied a simple rule. And hey, here's a quick bonus tip to help you spot those incomplete ideas even faster. A verb that ends in ing, or an infinitive verb like to run, can never be the main verb of a complete sentence all by itself. It's got to have a helping verb, like is running or was running. If you spot one of those, it can be a huge clue that you're looking at an incomplete idea. So let's just recap your 4-step game plan. Number 1, you see the punctuation changing in the answers? Boom! Use the vertical line test. 2, identify each side of that line as either complete or incomplete. 3, apply your knowledge of the stop, half-stop, and go rules. And finally, number 4, eliminate every single answer choice that violates those rules. So, are you ready to finally stop the guesswork? This isn't just about passing a test, It's about building a fundamental skill in how sentences work that's going to make your applications and all your academic writing so much stronger. Practice this test, And I promise, you'll start to see those punctuation problems as the easiest points you can get on the entire SAT.